different cuisines. We've been trying out Malaysian food, we've been trying out Chinese food, we've been trying out Indian food, Japanese food, and we forgot our own food, our own cuisine. How could we forget good old Sri Lankan food? So that's what we decided. We're going to go next and check out good Sri Lankan cuisine. And of course, we can't walk into someone's house and be like, "Ani, can you give me some bath curry?" That's not going to work, no? So we decided we are going to go to the restaurant that serves Sri Lankan food that's out of a hotel. And that is Upali's by Nawaloka. Let's see if Upali's by Nawaloka have got the basics of Sri Lankan cuisine right. And whether it's tasty enough for a finicky one like me, darling. You can't easily please me. So let's see what Upali's by Nawaloka has got to offer in terms of Sri Lankan cuisine. So where is Upali's by Nawaloka located? It is located in Colombo 7. I'm being a little because you know everybody loves saying Colombo 7. They like saying, oh, we live there, or we know somebody there, or we're going there, going to a restaurant there. Ooh, it just tingles everyone's little classist. So yeah, so it is located in Colombo 7, which means it's in Colombo. It's central. And it's a good location because it's down Alexandra Place. So don't ask me what the new name is because I can't remember. Okay, some long hair, I'm sure. So Alexandra Place, right opposite Vihara Mahadevi Park, just near the Nelumpokuna roundabout. And so you know, you get the petrol shed, Nelumpokuna, and there's Upali's on this side. So pretty central, not difficult to find at all. Only issue would be parking because really you can't park on a main road now. But it has a little bit of parking. But overall, located very centrally, easy to find, and quite clearly marked. So, good location. In terms of their logo, so Upali's has done this really cool thing. They've kind of merged the Sinhala Uyanna and the English U for Upali, and they've made it into like a one letter kind of thing. So, it's really cool. So, that's how it starts. So, it's basically the word Upali. And on top of the I, there are these three little karapinchakola kind of, so which is really cool. So it's kind of a fusion of the East and the West, and it looks really funky. So, I mean, design-wise, in terms of symbolism, there isn't much. Of course, the curry leaves and then the U going into the U to U. So, in terms of a logo, it's pretty innovative in that they have merged the U to U, but now everyone's doing that. But it's still nice. Simple, not very complicated, not much clutter in it, not much latter-putter. Even the signage outside has it. So it's very clear, communicates the idea very clearly. So it's a really nice logo. In terms of ambience and atmosphere, so Upali's, I don't know, rather unfortunately for me, has a sort of like a Saivara Kade-ish kind of atmosphere, simply because it's so rushed, it's busy, people are close by, everyone's talking, the serving staff are scuttling around. So, and it's all very busy, you know, very active, so sort of like a very buzzing kind of place. So like a buzzing atmosphere, it doesn't really appeal too much to me because I really don't like that kind of place. I would like a more quieter place so you can go and just chill, sit down, relax, enjoy your meal. So if you just want to eat and bugger off, I mean, that's the kind of place you would go to, like, you know, eat and get the hell out of there. But if you want to enjoy your meal, sit, relax, chill, I would not suggest Upali's. So ambience, atmosphere-wise, very busy, very happening, things are going around, people are scuttling around, very buzzing kind of place, sort of like a slightly sophisticated kind of cafeteria. So that's the atmosphere and ambience of the place. The chairs were comfy though, and we were like all in our seats, and it was okay. But yeah, I wasn't too thrilled with the ambience. Really not my cup of tea at all. the menu is actually their table mat, which is quite cool in a way. But in terms of what it had starters, salads. Where in Sri Lankan cuisine do you get a salad? I mean, okay, you get like the modernized pipinja salad kind of thing. But Goto Color also was a salad, so yeah, quite interesting. Salads, signature dishes, there were sides, meat items, seafood, and desserts. And they had also tea and other beverages, so, and a separate beverage menu. So in terms of offerings, it's quite a comprehensive offering of Sri Lankan food. I would say it's a decently extensive menu. It's not limited in any way. So there's anything for everyone, you know, vegetarian, fishitarian, meatarian, whatever. It had everything, something for everyone. So quite a decent menu. So we decided to order a starter. Yes, nowhere in Sri Lankan cuisine do you usually get starters, but I guess for convenience sake and for foreigners also to understand, it makes sense to call these things starters. So we decided to have good old handello, white bait, marinated in some lovely spices and served with a special sauce. So what we got was good old handello, crispily fried. So the poor fellow had been burnt to like a nice crisp, dark brown in color, but very nice and crispy when you eat it. See, I love it when handello are slightly crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, and this had got that balance right. So good. And the special sauce was a fiery Naimeris sauce that assaulted my poor tongue. I had a heart attack, okay? And I was like, oh dear God, okay, because I like Naimeris, but not when it assaults you like a surprise thing, because it just looked green there. So I'm like, green dipping sauce. So in terms of drinks, we decided to have something very simple because they don't really have alcohol. So it was a sparkling cucumber with lime, which according to the ingredients had cucumber, mint and lime. What I did get was like a nice mason jar with a nice paper straw. Very happy they're using eco-friendly things. But the thing is, the taste was very strong of cucumber. I wish the mint and the lime cut in more because that would have been a nice balance. So it was like I was having a cucumber juice somewhere down the line. So refreshing in a way, but nothing to really write songs about. So a very basic, okay drink. So from the salads and sambols, I picked a Goto Color, Sambole. So the interesting thing about the menu is they have written all the names in Sinhalese with English lettering. So Goto Color Sambole is written in English letters and then the explanation in English below. So it's described as a herbal green leaves, pennywort. I don't know if that's the correct name, but yeah, anyway, pennywort with moldy fish, onions and a grated coconut. So the Goto Color that we got came, okay, so it was chopped very fine. And for me, it is a little too colorful, right? You know, too much going on in the Goto Color. There was lots of moldy fish, there was coconut, there was cut pieces of tomato, there was onion. I like it where the Goto Color is dominant and the other things just complement. I might be a rare case, but I don't think so. I think that's how the Goto Color Sambol is supposed to be. Not a mixed acharu of everything where everything is in equal parts. So the next sambole I ordered was a good old Pulsar Boil. Now for me, the test of good Sri Lankan cuisine is someone who gets the Pulsar Boil right. Okay, so if you don't get your Pulsar Boil right, I should give you a good kani. Right? So basically, we got a Pulsar Boil and for me, it was a little bit too shredded. It was cut very small, so it was like almost like it was ground. And the chili in that was just really strong, along with like a huge dose of pepper. See, this is, I think, a latest thing in Sri Lankan cuisine where people just love putting pepper in every frigging thing. And for me, the Pulsar Boil with pepper masks everything else. Because see, it's a balance between the pul, the chili, the lemon, the moldy fish a little, and the red onions really coming out to complement that. But here, I got pepper and chili just assaulting me. I didn't get any of the lime. See, and I love when Pulsar Boil is nice and fresh and fluffy, and you get that nice lime and chili blend, and that really hits you where it should. So this for me was just too fiery. It was like, man, it was like a fire pot. So it was a pol gindara sambole, not a Pulsar Boil, like a fireball. So I wasn't too thrilled with it. Like I said, pepper has to be used very much in moderation, and Sri Lankans of late just love flinging pepper in there. Oh, just fling it in, oh, and it masks every frigging thing. So yeah, the balance of flavors was not what I expected it, so I was not really happy. No. So from their signature dishes, we decided to try something really different. I don't know if most of you have heard of the Hat Malua. So basically it's 7 items cooked in one, and according to the description, it's a recipe of 2000 years old. Good grief! I didn't know such records existed, so that's really great to know. I may have had Hat Malua maybe a couple of times before, but not a lot. So basically I asked the waiter guy what's in the Hat Malua, because I want to know what the 7 are, and he could name only about 3. Luckily, when the dish actually came, I was able to pick it out. So you had cashew, tit batu, which is like that little brinjal, tit batu. Get in Thai cuisine. There is mushrooms. There's little chopped bits of pumpkin or good old vataka. There is spinach. There is ash plantain, and there is string beans or mekaral. Right, so that's 7. I don't know whether spinach existed 2000 years ago in Sri Lanka, but hey, anyway, who knows. So overall, it was a lovely curry because it was a nice thick gravy and very flavorful. So more like a sort of like a, how should I say, kirata. It's more like not very chili, but very tasty. And I love the tit butter. You know, I love popping the tit butter. Don't get dirty thoughts. Dirty. Right, but when those little atta pop out, ooh, it's a lovely feeling. And then when you like mash it up with the rice and you eat it, ooh, I love it. So I really enjoyed the Hat Malua. I must say, and it's different textures, right? So it's really great. You're crunching on the cashew, you're popping the tit batu, you're enjoying the ash plantain nice and soft, the nibiti slightly slimy. So yeah, different textures and a great option. I must say, Upali's does their Hat Malua really well, and I would recommend any of you go and try it. It's superb. It would have been even fabulous just with plain rice if we decided to have it that way. So it was a really good curry, and I'm really glad we chose it. So from the sides options, we decided to have a good old Paruppu. You know, lentil curry, nothing beats a really good Paruppu. So Paruppu with the Goto Color and the Pulsar Boil and the rice. I was quite excited. And again, Paruppu is another test of how good a cook is, and it's easy to make, man. It really doesn't take much time and effort at all. So anyway, the Paruppu arrived, a nice thick Paruppu, you know, like the kind of glutinous kind of Paruppu, so it wasn't very hodi-like. Very tasty, nice and Paruppu-ish. No strong flavors really came through, so it was a nice blend of all the usual condiments that you add to a Paruppu. So I was quite pleased with it. Nice, you could eat it even on its own. So a decent Paruppu, not bad at all. So for the rice, I wanted to try something Sri Lankan and authentic. I mean, I thought they'll have like the alum rices and all, you know, like the kurlutuda and the suandam, but unfortunately they didn't. They did have a Magampura Rosa Kakulu. So I decided to try the Magampura Rosa Kakulu and be all healthy, you know, red rice and all that. And it was quite a decent rice, you know, nice and fluffy, not very or stuck on each other. So it was good. Nothing much to talk about that there. I mean, it was a good mix with the other vegetables, but I think they should extend their rice selection, considering that we were considered like, you know, the seat of paddy cultivation, and we have a lot of options available. So yeah, just a decent option, but yeah, I wish they had more rice options. Another signature dish that we tried was this thing that really warms the cockles of my heart. Yapane kakulu. Okay, so basically Jaffna crab curry. I love a really good Jaffna crab curry. And the last time I actually had a Jaffna crab curry was in Jaffna, and that was fabulous. I ate it with pittu and I was like a pig, you know, like digging into the crab shell and digging out all the flesh. It was so good. So I had these visions in my head when I saw this option, and I asked them, do you have kakuluo? And they were like, yes, we do. And they said they can give us 2 fellows, which will be cut in half, and I was like, oh, wonderful. And they were the lagoon crabs, and trust me, the flesh in the lagoon crabs are generally wonderful. So we were served this massive clay pot that came onto our table, steaming hot, good grief. It took up the whole table practically. And they opened the dish and we looked in. And well, you know, Jaffna crab curry is known to be darker in color because they use the more roasted spices. But this was red in color, so I was like, not really Jaffna sunshine, like somewhere in between, maybe Mena or Putlam. So anyway, so this Jaffna crab curry, so I kind of waited till the end to have it because I wanted to save it with the rice and just like, you know, dig in with my fingers. And they were cute, you know, they gave us this bib and the crab claw cutter. So it was quite professionally done. It reminded me of a bit of like, you know, these crab places. So anyway, so I dug into the crab and dear God, the poor crab I think was rather elderly and frail and lacked his flesh, or he had gone on a massive frigging diet because there was no flesh in the crab. And usually lagoon crabs are very meaty. Even his fat claw, which I took great pains to break open because that crab claw cutter was like a bit wonky and the claw was very stubborn. And I broke it open in great anticipation, and dear God, there was nothing there. The crab claw was practically empty. So I think this Jaffna crab curry had the poor crab crawling all the way from Jaffna to Colombo, and I think he lost his flesh in the process and all his fat. So I had to eat. Trust me, it was so disappointing. It was like a malnourished crab who had gone on a frigging diet. So, to the best part of the day, dessert. Now, of course, I'm trying to be health conscious and not eat too much, but of course, I was quite tickled by this one dessert option, which was Goto Color by Sandhya. Now, I had no idea who the this Sandhya is and what the she was doing, but clearly she was significant enough to be mentioned. And the interesting thing about it is, it was a baked biscuit pudding. So, I love biscuit pudding, the good ones, not the ones you get sometimes. Sri Lankans think just Mari biscuits and some chocolate and some bullshit in between, and you have biscuit pudding. So baked biscuit pudding with layers of chocolate sauce and ice cream on top sounded quite exciting to me. So I decided to have the Goto Color by Dear Sandhya. And so this arrived in a nice, like a boat kind of dish, and it looked quite dark, the sauce, chocolate sauce on top, and it had many layers of the Mari biscuits. So when we dug in, it was a bit dry, and when we tasted it, dear God, Sandhya really must go for some culinary classes. That thing was like eating sawdust with layers of blackened chocolate masked by the ice cream. It was quite hideous. I mean, a terrible representation of chocolate biscuit pudding, and Sri Lankans are known for our chocolate biscuit pudding greed. Who doesn't love a good chocolate biscuit pudding? Well made. But they also had this homemade ice cream option, and I was debating between the coconut and the passion fruit, and I thought, okay, I've had coconut before, let me try the passion fruit. And the guy also recommended, the server recommended the passion fruit, so it came in a tall glass, and it looks slightly toffee colored, slightly. I was thinking, okay, passion fruit ice cream, this color, and it had the passion fruit seeds in it. And so when I dug in, it had more of a mousse-like consistency, sort of like a fermented passion fruit ice cream. Something was not right there. It didn't really have the thick, creamy consistency of ice cream. What is that? I mean, it's just strange. I don't know what it was, like a chef's bad experiment. So I think Upalis really need to work on their dessert selection. Whatever we had was quite basic and really not very exciting. I mean, terrible representation of what we have on offer, seriously. So in terms of the service, like I said, it was a very busy day. And I think the guys were like quite harried, you know, they were running around, and our poor server was like quite frazzled, I think. But he did take our order down properly and brought us our food. I mean, it took a little bit of time, but not too much, actually not a lot, so reasonable amount of time. So I would say their service is very brisk and efficient in the style of it. Like I told you, like a bit of a posh cyber kade. But I mean, the fact that the guy didn't know what was in his hatma aloo was like, dude, some of the things you really need to know. But yeah, that's a minor thing. Price-wise, Upali's is very reasonable. I must say the prices were quite good. The only issue is the Sri Lankan tax. Okay, so this kills everybody, so that you really can't help. But in terms of the items, I mean, most of the stuff were like below 1,000 unless they were like exotic things like the Yapane Kakulo, which is such a disappointment, but never mind. So anyway, overall, the pricing was very good, very reasonable, well within somebody's budget. So I would say value for money. I would say overall, food-wise, they need to work on a few things in those desserts, man. They really need to work on those desserts. It's criminal to have biscuit pudding like that. So, yeah, Upali's is a decent place to check out a Sri Lankan meal, but I would say they need to really work on some of their areas to improve. So do you really want to keep guessing and figuring out who I am? Or do you really want to find out the kind of foods I am going to be tasting? I think both are intriguing enough. So why don't you join me as we go on this wonderful, delightful journey of eating around Colombo my way.